This is the Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jacqueline Coley. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. President Adama Barrow commenced his week-long nationwide development tour on Saturday with a series of engagements in the North Bank region. As part of its family-friendly commitment, the United Nations office in the Gambia on Friday inaugurated a new creche facility at the UN House in Cape Point. The Gambia's Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Usman Gomez, was accompanied by the Gambia's High Commissioner to the UK to witness Gambian cadet Omar Toure graduate from the world-renowned Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Not many people seem to know that West Africa has two major car manufacturers who design and make a range of vehicles. We have a report about them. In international news, 3 influencers have been handed prison sentences in Senegal for insulting the president. The convictions have sparked heated debates about freedom of the press in the country. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. Many thanks for joining us. Now, President Adama Barrow commenced his week-long nationwide development tour on Saturday with a series of engagements in the North Bank region. The first day focused on expanding road infrastructure and strengthening healthcare delivery, highlighted by the major launch road projects and the presentation of an ambulance to the people of Fas Njagachoy. Usman Jata reports.
It's a development tour, and I think it's very important for us to continue on with our projects. We have completed some of them, and we are launching new projects. Well, our focus and our direction is to develop this country. And the most important projects for this country is social projects. Social projects, roads, electricity, water. But this time, it's about health and roads infrastructure. The main purpose is about that. Yes.
On the lines of the Gambia.
No infrastructure, no development. Communication is all about infrastructure. If you build the roads, it cut down on your petrol. It cut down on the cost. Also improve the life of the people. Trade, security, you name it. All is part of the social projects that we are doing. So I think it's the way forward. Every Gambian is in it, and we'll continue on this development, definitely.
The United Nations office in the Gambia on Friday inaugurated a new creche facility at the UN House in Cape Point, providing a safe and supportive environment for the children of UN staff while their parents are at work. Yafatu Gay tells us more.
The facility allows staff members to leave their young children in a safe environment during working hours while providing breastfeeding mothers with a dedicated space to continue caring for and feeding their babies. The initiative was described as a practical response to a challenge many working parents face, balancing professional responsibilities with childcare and breastfeeding. Carl Frederick Paul, UN Resident Coordinator in the Gambia, expressed what the creche reflects about the organization.
So the establishment of this creche or the nursery reflects really the duty of care that we have as United Nations personnel. It really acknowledges the daily realities of the parents and the caregiver, and who must balance professional responsibilities and personal responsibilities.
Bakari D. Damfa, chairperson of the UN Staff Association in the Gambia, expressed appreciation for the establishment of the facility.
As Staff Association, we are proud to support this initiative and to represent staff interests in the Creche Management Committee. Through this role, we will promote transparency, accountability, quality standards and continuous improvements to ensure that the creche remains a trusted and high-quality service for all families.
The inauguration took place on the closing day of World Breastfeeding Week, observed globally from the 1st to 7th August under the theme Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Start in Life, Strengthen What Works. Ms. Nafisa bin Shafiq, UNICEF Country Representative, encouraged organizations and employers to become more child-friendly by establishing supportive spaces and policies that enable parents to balance work and family responsibilities.
As I said, it is not imposed on anyone, it is by law. Every organization, every workplace should be child-friendly and should be also breastfeeding mother-friendly.
Here is Joy Michael, a UN staff member and a breastfeeding mother.
It's a very good initiative to encourage more women to go into productive work labor. When women give birth is their reproductive role, but this is also an opportunity to combine both their productive labor and their reproductive right without having to feel pressured to alternate one for the other.
The creche operational manager, Yai Fatugay, assured staff members that the facility will provide quality care and maintain a safe environment for children entrusted to their care.
So I would like to assure every single mother that their child is safe. That's the first thing. Their child will also learn, and because we're all of us are Montessori, we're into the Montessori pedagogy, we understand how to respect a child, how to allow a child to reach their full potential, and how to be able to achieve their needs.
The Gambia's Women Act 2010 provides employed women with 6 months paid maternity leave, as well as daily nursing breaks. The new creche is a step towards delivering on these rights, while encouraging employers in public and private sectors to adopt similar family-friendly initiatives. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafatigay.
The day after paying a courtesy call on the Gambia's High Commissioner to the UK, Her Excellency Dr. Fatou Bensouda, the Gambia's Chief of Defence Staff, Major General Ousmane Gomez, was accompanied by the High Commissioner to witness Gambian Cadet Omar Toure graduate from the world-renowned Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. This report by Ade Drame is narrated by Seinabu Chow.
It was a proud and historic moment for the Gambia as Cadet Omar Toure of the Gambia Armed Forces graduated from the prestigious in the United Kingdom. After 44 weeks of rigorous military training, Cadet Toure proudly took part in the Sovereign's Parade, marking the successful completion of his training at one of the world's most renowned military academies.
I think it's been really good, sir. There's a lot of training value, like I mentioned when we chatted earlier. I think the 44 weeks has really culminated into something massive. You sometimes kind of don't feel what you're learning. Sometimes it's just that those minor things that you learn. Those, like they always mention, the brilliance in the basics that really turned into something very massive, something that you feel proud taking back home. I think a lot has changed about how training is done, because obviously the warfare in general has changed now. The global landscape is changing. There's a lot of focus on how much technology is affecting our today's generation. There's a lot about what the general refer to as techcraft instead of fieldcraft now. So there's a lot that we've learned. I feel there's a lot that I could do when I get back home. I feel there has been a lot of learning value in general that I feel moving back home would definitely support the Army on how we can really advance training, how we can really change the GTPs of how stuff are done.
Witnessing the occasion was a Gambian delegation led by the Chief of Defence Staff, Major General Ousmane Gomez, accompanied by the Gambia's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Dr. Fatou Bensouda, and Major Ibrahima Cissé. The occasion was itself historic, marking the first time a Chief of Defence Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces has attended the Sovereign's Parade at Sandhurst. Another milestone in the long-standing professional relationship between the Gambia and the United Kingdom. For QTV viewers, Cadet Toure may already be a familiar face. In December 2025, QTV featured him at Sandhurst International Cultural Evening, where he proudly showcased and represented Gambian culture and cuisine. This time, the young man's father and other family members were there to witness him march at his passing out parade, a special culmination of months of hard work, discipline, and sacrifice. From Sandhurst to home, it is a moment of immense pride. Congratulations to Cadet Omar Toure on a remarkable achievement for himself, his family, the Gambia Armed Forces and the nation. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Senabu Chow.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and international news stories. Do stay with us.
Important news for prospective pilgrims. Ajib Bank Limited, in collaboration with the Gambia International Airlines (GIA), has officially commenced the collection of deposit payments for the 2027 Hajj pilgrimage. Intending pilgrims planning to perform the holy journey with the nation's premier travel operator can now secure their spots early. The initial deposit required to register for the 2027 Hajj package is $400,000. Payments can be made at any Ajib Bank branch nationwide. After making your deposit, remember to present your bank payment slip to the Gambia International Airlines offices to update your records and finalize your registration. As seats are allocated on a first-come, first-served basis, early registration is strongly encouraged to guarantee your spot for this sacred journey. For further details on registration requirements and account information, visit your nearest Ajib Bank branch or contact the Gambia International Airlines Hajj Secretariat.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now, the future of connectivity has arrived in the Gambia. QCell's Q-Fiber, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed for the way you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Power your business with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. QCell's Q-Fiber. Get connected today. Call 145 or 300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. You're watching QTV News and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Now, what began as a report on a courtesy call on the president of the ECOWAS Commission made us dig deeper and ask a question or two. Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing founder Innocent Chukuma meeting the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Aliu Toure, in Abuja last week. How many know that West Africa actually has car manufacturers? More in this report by Ade Rame, which is narrated by Pakaba Suso.
The occasion was a regional forum on the future of West Africa's automotive industry, but it raises a question. When we say car manufacturers, we are not just talking about businesses that just assembling vehicles shipped in our states, but West African companies building their own automotive brands here in the region. In Nigeria, there is Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing, or IVM, based in Nnewi, Anambra State. Founded by Chukwuma in 2007, the company produces everything from cars and SUVs to pickup trucks, minibuses, luxury coaches, heavy-duty trucks, ambulances, and other specialized vehicles. And Nigeria isn't alone. Travel west to Ghana, and there is another homegrown automotive name, Kantanka Automobile, founded by Ghanaian inventor and industrialist Apostol Wakwusafo, who passed away in September 2025. Kantanka produces vehicles in Ghana, including SUVs, pickup trucks, and saloon cars. Two West African companies, two homegrown brands, an industry many people in the region may barely know about. They design and manufacture their own vehicles, which is why the conversation taking place at ECOWAS matters. Dr. Toure says the regional organization wants to develop a competitive and integrated West African automotive industry. The Abuja Forum brought together governments, manufacturers, custom authorities, financial institutions, and the private sector to look at strengthening regional automotive value chains, attracting investment, and increasing industrial production. West Africa remains a huge market for vehicles manufactured elsewhere in the world. But perhaps the question is no longer, can West Africa make cars? It already does. The question now is, can West Africa build an automotive industry big enough to put more of its own vehicles on its own roads? For QTV News, Pakaba Suso.
Next up is international news. Many people imagine that Senegal has liberal media laws. However, the sentences handed out to 3 influencers accused of insulting President Bassirou Diomaye Faye has led many to question how free the media really is in Senegal. More in this story by Victor Okoro.
3 TikTok influencers have been sentenced to prison in Senegal after being accused of insulting President Bassirou Diomaye Faye. The case has sparked fresh debates over freedom of expression and political speech on social media in the West African country. The Senegalese court sentenced Madoubi Job, popularly known as Lamingo Daru, to 3 months in prison without suspension. 2 other influencers, Magiu Jiao and Mustafa Njai, known as Njai Tuba, were each sentenced to 2 months in prison. The 3 men worked with the online communication platform Finau Digital. The case reportedly began after a video recorded during the Baké Bar religious gathering was shared on TikTok. Senegalese reports say that the prosecutor took up the case after seeing the video and instructed the country's Special Cybersecurity Division to investigate and arrest the men. The exact wording of the controversial video has not been fully detailed in the international reports, but the court case centered on the allegations that the content insulted the president. The men's lawyer, Abinar Njai, defended his clients, arguing that their TikTok posts were comedic and did not deserve criminal prosecutions. He also said that Magui Jiao and Mustafa Njai were fined 500,000 CFA franc, each roughly about $800. The arrests and convictions are particularly significant because all 3 men are associated with a political environment surrounding Senegal's ruling Pastef movement. Their media platform, Finau Digital, has been described by some observers as sympathetic to the former Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko. Sonko was once a close political ally of the president, and the 2 men were central figures in the political movement that brought Faye to power in 2024. But relations between the 2 have since deteriorated. It's reported that Sonko has recently split politically from Faye and launched his own party, adding another layer of political tension to the case. For critics, the imprisonment of the influencers raises concern about whether Senegal's authorities are going too far in regulating political expression on social media. Supporters of the legal action, however, argue that freedom of expression doesn't necessarily protect personal insults or unlawful content directed to the head of state. For now, the 3 influencers remain at the center of a growing debate in Senegal, one that goes beyond TikTok and touches on a bigger question. How far should freedom of expression extend when political criticism crosses the line into alleged insults against a president? For QTV News, I am Victor Okoro.
Also in international news, as the world observes the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples tomorrow, August the 9th, attention in Africa is focused on communities fighting to protect their ancestral lands, traditional livelihoods and cultural heritage amid development displacement and climate pressures. The story by Babakar Sise is narrated by Mam Nabuka.
The International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples provides an opportunity to recognize the contribution of indigenous communities and highlight the challenges they face in protecting their rights, cultures, and traditional ways of life. Across Africa, indigenous peoples include the Maasai of Kenya and Tanzania, the San of Southern Africa, the Batwa of Central Africa, and other pastoralist and forest-dependent communities. For many of these groups, land is more than an economic resource. It is closely connected to their identity, culture, spirituality, and traditional livelihoods. However, land dispossession, mining, infrastructure projects, conservation programs, and climate change continue to place pressure on some communities. In Kenya and Tanzania, Maasai communities have faced disputes over access to ancestral grazing lands, particularly in areas designated for wildlife conservation and tourism. Communities have raised concerns about displacement and limited participation in decisions affecting their territories. In Botswana and Namibia, San communities continue to face challenges linked to land rights, access to resources, and the preservation of their traditional cultures and languages. In Central Africa, Batwa communities have experienced marginalization and displacement, particularly where forests traditionally used for hunting, gathering, and other livelihoods have been placed under conservation or development programs. Pastoralist communities across the Sahel and East Africa are also confronting changing weather patterns, drought, desertification, and competition over grazing and water resources. These pressures can contribute to displacement and conflict. Despite these challenges, indigenous communities remain important custodians of traditional knowledge, biodiversity, and cultural heritage. Their knowledge of forests, wildlife, water sources, and sustainable land use can contribute to environmental protection and climate adaptation. The observance therefore calls for stronger recognition of indigenous peoples' rights and greater participation in decisions affecting their communities. For Africa, the day is also a reminder that development, conservation, and climate policies must involve indigenous communities and respect their ancestral lands, livelihoods, traditions, and dignity. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mam Nabuka.
And before we end, here's a recap of the headlines. President Adama Barrow commenced his week-long nationwide development tour on Saturday with a series of engagements in the North Bank region. As part of its family-friendly commitment, the United Nations office in the Gambia on Friday inaugurated a new creche facility at the UN House in Cape Point. The Gambia's Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Usman Gomez, was accompanied by the Gambia's High Commissioner to the UK to witness Gambian cadet Omar Toure graduate from the world-renowned Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Not many people seem to know that West Africa has two major car manufacturers who design and make a range of vehicles. We told you all about them. In international news, 3 influencers have been handed prison sentences in Senegal for insulting the president. The convictions have sparked heated debates about the freedom of press in the country. That's all for this bulletin. Join us again at 8 p.m. tomorrow for the week interview with Ade Darame and Mamoudou Mbouch. Many thanks for watching and bye.